Okay, hello everyone and welcome back to your YouTube channel and welcome to this amazing video because today we are talking about DIgSILENT PowerFactory. As you must be aware, my master students, they are taking classes about advanced power system analysis, and when you are doing realistic cases using multi-machine power systems and relative large scale, it's very hard to run manual calculations. Obviously, the best option is to perform simulations using digital software like DIgSILENT PowerFactory. And today I have a very interesting video. We will be talking about the amazing DIgSILENT PowerFactory, okay? Before we start, I would like to say this is not a course about DIgSILENT PowerFactory. This is just a very basic video. It's just to explain my student the basic concepts, the functionalities, and so on. But this is not going deep, okay? This is far, far away of a formal and a real training or course about DIgSILENT PowerFactory. But before we move for more details, before we move to the important content today, I would like to remind you that I am running the ResearchGate repository. You can have a look over there. You can find some documents from myself, or also from some other scientists. Okay, ResearchGate is like a social media and for scientists, and we publish our papers, book, and many other kind of scientific documents over there. Okay. Also, I have a GitHub repository over there. You can find there is a folder, my DIgSILENT PowerFactory, and that folder is dedicated for this activity regarding DIgSILENT PowerFactory. Okay. And if you would like to be in touch, please subscribe to my Twitter account, and also please follow me on LinkedIn. Okay. But let's go for business. Okay. I will start this discussion with a very short overview about this powerful power system analysis software, okay? DIgSILENT PowerFactory is a commercial software, is one of the best, or probably the best of all of them, power system analysis software, okay? And we will be using this one during this course, okay? And let's start the following, okay? Let's start with a short history. One thing that people must understand is that DIgSILENT is a company, okay? Sorry if I say DIgSILENT. In some other countries they say DIgSILENT. To be honest, DIgSILENT is up to you. I will not complain about that, but you need to understand that DIgSILENT is the company. Is the company. It was created by this gentleman here on the right hand side. Let me use the laser pointer. It was created by this very important person, Dr. Martin Schmiek, okay? Martin Schmiek started this company in Germany in 1985. Okay, we are talking about many years ago, sorry. Martin Schmiek started the company, and the core of this company was the software, okay? At the very beginning it was the software, but today is a very complete company, okay? DIgSILENT as a company basically have three main components, okay? Three main areas. Consultancy, they are very strong doing consultancy and also research. Consultancy and research in system studies, system test, trainings and seminars, okay? That is basically the core for consulting and research activities of the DIgSILENT, the company. Then we have the software. I will say the original one, PowerFactory. PowerFactory is the name that we use today for the software. I will explain more historical details later. But PowerFactory is just one of the software created and developed by the people of DIgSILENT. There is also something called Stationware. There is another software for power systems, and I will be not covering that here, okay? And also here, hardware, let me fix this small typo over here. But hardware is also one of the activities, present activities of the people from DIgSILENT, okay? A few years ago, they start to do what we call a PowerFactory monitor, and the PowerFactory monitor is basically a device created by DIgSILENT, the company, with the idea of measurements. Okay, it's basically measurement, is a recording device, is a measurement device, is able to collect with high frequency sampling signals, and to be honest, it's matching all the products coming from DIgSILENT. Okay, it's matching with stationware and also with PowerFactory. Okay, one of the interesting thing is DIgSILENT headquarters. They are located in the southern part of Germany, in Gomaringen, and they have a very interesting, you can see here, this is the headquarters. You can see over there the photovoltaic panels and so on. They are very, very environmental friendly people. Okay. Regarding the company, I will not do so much details, but they are basically 9 offices. 9 offices that they belong to the main core of DIgSILENT. They are basically the representative of this company DIgSILENT, but they are support. They provide support for over 120 countries. Okay. And we are talking about this software is so good that is used for transmission and distribution companies, industrial customers, and of course, we, universities and research institutes, we use this software for research and development. Okay, here you can see that almost every single country around the world, only very few, they are customers of DIgSILENT PowerFactory. And as you can see over here, you can see in the big yellow dots, you can see the main offices of DIgSILENT PowerFactory, the 9 offices that I was talking about: France, Germany, Spain, and so on. But also they are partners. Okay, they are partners and representative, like the case of Peru and Mexico and some other countries like Colombia. Okay, well, but let me talk about DIgSILENT PowerFactory. Okay, DIgSILENT PowerFactory is the name that I typically use. Is the name that I typically use to refer to the software, to the power system analysis software. Okay, however, if you want to use the short phrase, you can use just PowerFactory. That is the actual name for the software. Okay, it's a software that is written by DIgSILENT, the people in Germany, and that is basically a computer aided engineering tool. Okay, it's designed to cope with the interests of electrical engineers that they need to perform power system analysis in the industrial sector, utilities, commercial and electrical power system. Okay, one of the main features of this software is that it has a very integrated and interactive package. Okay, it's a software that is integrated. There are many modules and submodules and many functionalities inside, and the idea is to make easy for the user, the formal user, the specialized user, easy to perform the activities, okay, for planning and operation and even optimization of power systems. Okay, however, we refer as PowerFactory, but the origin of this software, it's DIgSILENT. Okay, and DIgSILENT or DIgSILENT, depending on your pronunciation, is basically the short for a Digital Simulation and Electrical Network Calculation Program. Okay, what I'm telling you is that DIgSILENT is basically the short name of Digital Simulation and Electrical Network Calculation Program. Okay, it was a software developed for digital simulation of electrical power system. The version number 7 was the first power system analysis software with a very integrated graphical single line interface. Okay, probably you are too young for remember that, but when we were using the DOS, the very old operating system. It was difficult to have a graphical interface, but DIgSILENT version 7 was the first one to establish the single line diagram interface, and that was a success. Okay, everyone in the industry right now, they have this kind of interface using the single line diagram that include drawing functions, editing capacities, and all the relative static and dynamic calculations. Okay, I remember this logo. This logo is probably one of the oldest. I don't remember if it was version 7. Here you can see the original disk. I used to have this at my office. This is version 14. And then you can see here version 15. And well, today we have the version, we are in the year 2021, and right now we have version 2021 service pack number 1, okay? We are talking about that we are today in January 2021, okay? But the history of DIgSILENT and power calculation has changed and evolved over the time, okay? To be honest, DIgSILENT PowerFactory is basically a concept for modeling and simulation of electrical power systems that try to create a best experience for the users. They use, many years ago, they used the expression workaround technique that allowed to make available for the user all the functionalities rather than having different software modules, okay? That was the original idea behind that. But from the version 13.2 to the version 14, it was a massive change. Okay, version 13.2 we used to call PowerFactory, but DIgSILENT PowerFactory version 14 was a big changing. Okay, big change, and it was because many of the database structure and the way to use the software changed a lot. DIgSILENT PowerFactory version 14, they include integration of functionalities and data management in a single user environment, and that was a key, a success point, because at that moment, many software, they have different modules, but each module used to be separated. And PowerFactory version 14 was one of the first, if not the first, to create this integration. Okay, and right now, PowerFactory has a core of functions. Okay. Functions related with data management, like definition, modification of, an organization of cases, but also numerical routines, outputs, and documentation functions. Okay, from this version 14, the interaction between the user and the software start to increase, and also to make easier data case handling. Okay, today, version 2021, we have a very good management system for data cases, and then also the integrated calculation function was a very interesting thing, because at that moment, when we start to use this concept of integrated calculation functions, that means that you have the different type of power system analysis studies at the same variables at the same time over the same database. And as a consequence, that creates some problems related with the availability and the type of data required. Okay, we will discuss that later when we start to talk about the different three basic key features of the PowerFactory: the functionality integration, the database integration, and the vertical integration. Okay. One more thing that is very interesting with DIgSILENT PowerFactory, there are many features, okay? I cannot cover all of them here in this video, but this software also have the possibility of getting data or connecting to the SCADA. to the online SCADA or, system, okay? SCADA system is one way to acquire data from the transmission or distribution system, and that data can be used to update or to keep update the database of your power system, okay? That is a very, very important point. And also, a few years ago, PowerFactory integrates some generic interface for mapping systems, and that help a lot in terms of creating diagrams. Okay, when I talk about functional integration, DIgSILENT PowerFactory is a software that is implemented like a single executable program. Okay, what I tell you is you run just a single application, and inside that software, inside that environment, there are many functionalities that we call modules or study analysis. Okay. And this software have the possibility of having everything inside the same environment, okay? And that is an advantage because you don't need to reload modules, you don't need to reload functionalities and start again applications. Everything is at the you can reach in a very simple way all the data and all the analysis, okay? That means that if you need to run a transient stability, you have the module for power flow over there, you have your functionality for initial conditions calculation and so on, and that is extremely simple, okay? But also, this approach means that data requirements start to be quite interesting, okay? Because when you have this functional integration, of course, you need to take care of the different type of data that you need for the different type of studies. What I'm telling you is that the database of PowerFactory has this amazing functional integration. For instance, in this window, you can see here, this is the data that you require for the element synchronous machine. There is a basic data, there is description, but then you have a specific data for the very different power system analysis functionalities. For load flow, you need some kind of data. For RMS simulation, you need another kind of data. And the interesting thing here is that PowerFactory has this data propagation style. I mean, there are some data that each share between different type of module. For instance, if you are using RMS simulation, you need the subtransient reactance, the transient reactance, the positive and negative sequence reactance. But also, if you are running short circuit, you need this kind of data. That means if you complete the data in the RMS window, that will be propagated to the other places where that data is required. That is making easy the life of the user, okay? Interesting approach is inside PowerFactory, everything is an object, okay? And it's very important that you start to speak in the language of PowerFactory. Every single window you will find here at the title a description. For instance, this is the object G1, and over here you can see this is the element synchronous machine, okay? It's very important that you start to talk about this kind of language, because you will realize that the vertical integration is related with this approach of objects, okay? The vertical integration is a very interesting approach used by DIgSILENT PowerFactory that creates a data structure that is quite interesting, okay? For every single component, you require two types of objects: the element data and the type data, okay? For instance, here I have the element synchronous machine. And here you have several data that is required for the different study cases. But in this element, you need to have a type, and that is the type synchronous machine. What I'm telling you is that this object, that is the element, is connected with another object that is called the type. What is the difference between element and type? Well, I will not go in full details because this is not a training about the DIgSILENT PowerFactory, but you can think about the type like the object where the main properties that you have for the model of this synchronous generator is presented here. Okay, for instance, if you need to define the inertia constant, if you need to define the stator resistance, if you need to define subtransient time constant, you will do that here at the object. Okay, at this object that is the type synchronous machine. But if you need to define, for instance, the voltage and the power, the active power dispatch, you can go here to the type and you will find here the load flow tab. Go over there and complete the data presenting the operational conditions. Okay, and the interesting thing here is that also you don't need to separate the database. All the database is in a single place for the different kind of study analysis, okay? And that is very helpful, okay? Because you will have all the information located in the same place and accessible for the different kind of modules that you have in the same environment, okay? A very interesting point here that I would like to tell you is that one very important point of the database integration is that PowerFactory use the concept of project. Okay, PowerFactory use the concept of project. Project is basically an object that you can imagine that there are several folders inside, and inside those folders you can use them to define different studies or different considerations like network model or settings or libraries and so on. Okay, the core of the modeling aspect of the database inside DIgSILENT PowerFactory is the project. Every time that you are creating a new power system for modeling and simulation, you create something like this, the project. And the project have inside several folders like library, network model, study cases, settings, and so on, okay? And inside each one of those folders, you will find subfolders with more objects and more definition, data definition, okay? The interesting thing is that PowerFactory try to use the concept of project management. I mean, you can have many projects in your database and you can explore them using the data manager. Data manager is something like the Explorer that we have in Microsoft Windows, okay? Here you can see that the database structure, as you can see on the left-hand side, we have here a project, but inside the project we can have different type of information. Information that can be in the form of graphic objects like single line diagram, simplify single line diagram, detailed single line diagrams, and so on. Also some graphical results coming from simulations and so on, but also you have data coming from the system. You can have data coming from each element, or also operational data like scenarios and so on, okay? I will not cover this, but if you want to read more, please go to the DIgSILENT PowerFactory user manual and you will find many more information, okay? I am really proud to say that we have the opportunity to work with DIgSILENT PowerFactory in this course and many others, because DIgSILENT PowerFactory is extremely powerful, okay? Because each year DIgSILENT PowerFactory is improving the software and adding more and more functionalities, and that is extremely good news for you, okay? In this case, I would like to tell you just very few and very fast details about the main features of DIgSILENT PowerFactory, okay? We have what we call the basic functionalities or basic functions, and over there you can have some static calculations like load flow, short circuit analysis, load flow sensibility, network analysis for medium voltage and low voltage, different power equipment models, network representation, and so on. And then we have advanced functionalities, okay? And when I talking about advanced functionalities, is because we have many of them. Contingency analysis using parallel computing, quasi-dynamic simulation, something that not much people know, but is coming up. Network reduction. PowerFactory have the possibility of creating reduced model of your power system. Protection functionality is amazing inside PowerFactory. You can create your own relays and so on. R-Flash is another functionality not much people are using, but it's still coming up. Cable analysis, power quality and harmonic analysis. Here you can see probabilistic load flow, one of my favorite. Optimal power flow. Recently, PowerFactory added the unit commitment and dispatch optimization, and also my favorite functionality, stability analysis function, the RMS simulation, the AMT simulation, and the small signal stability eigenvalues. Okay, there are many functionalities inside PowerFactory. PowerFactory is increasing those functionalities. One also of my favorites is scripting. You can use another software to interact, to work with PowerFactory. Python is probably one of the best interfaces at the moment and allow you to control PowerFactory in the engine mode. Is extremely useful. Okay. This is not up to date. The list of the calculation commands inside PowerFactory. This is taken from PowerFactory 2019 Service Pack 3. Sorry, I didn't have time to update to 2021, but this is just a general overview about 26 functionalities, calculation commands inside PowerFactory. That was 2019, okay? Starting from the classical load flow analysis, the short circuit analysis, contingency analysis, quasi-dynamic. Favorite for me, RMS and AMT simulation. We will be working with this for the time domain simulations, but also there are some functionalities not much people know about. For instance, system parameter identification. You can go to my first book and you can read more about system parameter identification, modal analysis, protection, cable analysis, power quality and harmonics, flick meters. And here you can have, for instance, this module generation adequacy is quite interesting to cover the concept of security in electrical power system, but we have also state estimation and motor starting, optimal power flow. Recently, transmission network tools like the creation of the PV curve and the QV curve for voltage stability. Come on, here you can see many functionalities. I don't have time to cover all of them here. I didn't include the latest version. However, all my students, they have access to the PowerFactory version 2021 Service Pack 1. I hope that you can go and start to play with the software, go to the user manual. I highly suggest to be familiar with the user manual. The user manual is a technical document, very well created with a lot of information, very well explained. For instance, I highly suggest to go deeper and read the technical documentation, okay? Technical documentation inside PowerFactory is quite good, okay? Well, I think it's time to stop this presentation. It's time to end this very short presentation. We have 27 minutes talking about DIgSILENT PowerFactory. I hope that you understand that the original idea here was DIgSILENT. Right now, DIgSILENT is the company in Germany, in Gormaringer, and PowerFactory, DIgSILENT PowerFactory is the power system analysis software, okay? There are many functionalities inside. There are many powerful functionality for power system analysis. I highly invite you to check the software and go to the user manual and go through and learn more, okay? This is all for this video. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like the video, please remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I will be waiting to receive your emails, okay? Thank you very much for watching this video. I will see you at the next one. Thank you very much. Bye now.